All right, so as promised a couple weeks ago, want to record a video about Anavar. So if you're in the lifting community, you've probably heard plenty of references to Anavar. Um, it gets probably more thrown around with females, I feel like. It's maybe the general kind of feel is that it's a safer use for females versus traditional, testosterone and using tren and stuff like that. So, especially in the female community, I see a lot of talk about Anavar being thrown around. And that's kind of why I wanted to address that. Lots of female participants in bodybuilding. So we want to kind of get some education out there. First of all, Anavar is not just harmless. It's not just, you know, it's not just a. I've heard things like, oh, it's just a weight loss pill. Well, yeah, it is, but it's also an anabolic androgen steroid. So we need to make sure that we don't just give it such innocence, right? Like this is a drug that was developed with good intentions, right? As they kind of all were, and it does have some kind of therapeutic uses, especially for helping burn victims recover. I read a study today about it being used for elderly women to combat their atrophy. So that could be definitely a good use for it, to help prevent falls and injuries that come with aging and losing that muscle over time. So it's not completely, the devil or anything like that, but we also have to address that there are a lot of people that use all steroids and throw them all out there kind of harmlessly and just like, oh, this person uses it, no big deal, they're fine. As long as you don't take too much, you're gonna be okay. So let's address what the side effects are, and you can make an informed decision. But some of the positive things that I really did find about Anavar compared to like traditional testosterone, especially for women, it's less androgenic relative to its strength as an anabolic. So the good thing about that is it has a decreased risk for viralization, which is a word to talk about the masculine kind of side effects of using a performance enhancing drug like this, anabolic steroids. So it has less chance to give you those masculine side effects, but it still has all those side effects. It's just less likely than like traditional testosterone. It also is shown to be a little safer for your liver, so that's some positives for using it. Let's see. It also, for men, you're less likely to get gyno, which is, development of female-like breasts. That's cool. So I'm sure we've all seen it, and anyone that's juicing probably didn't intend to get little jiggly boobies, but that can happen with other forms of anabolics. So less chance of that. But let's also talk about, some of the adverse effects that are there. There's still the irreversible development of a deeper voice. Okay, so you can start to get voice levels dropping. You can get increased growth of hair. You could see, male pattern, baldness, hair recession like a male. You could see growth patterns of hair, perhaps facial hair, perhaps back, other areas like that would be more common to males. You could see menstruation abnormalities. That's very common. You definitely not want the one that we've all feared and heard talk about, clitoral enlargement. So that's no good. Let's see. Males, you can have lower male fertility, very common with all anabolics. You could have gonad shrinkage, so losing the package, less fertile, Obviously, just because you're producing so much synthetic hormone or receiving so much synthetic hormone that our body responds to that by shrinking our hormone producers. Okay, so this is definitely an anabolic steroid, guys. So it's really hard when I hear it getting tossed around like it's just, like a fat loss pill you can go pick up at a nutrition shop. It's not. Will it give you those effects? Yes. Will you lose fat and build muscle at the same time? Hell yes, you will. Is that worth it to you? Are the side effects worth it to you? Is your competitive aspirations or your need for muscle or physique, are they worth it to you? Can you live with the side effects? And that's just the question you have to ask yourself when you take anything. Or is what you're hoping to get out of it worth possible side effects? Not for me, but maybe for you. So here's some information so you can make a little more informed decision. But my takeaway on Anavar is, hey, just about as risky as any other anabolic steroid. Thanks, y'all.